Hi everyone, my name's Tom. We are Foil Ride. We're the UK's first e-foil school. We're the lift dealers for the UK. And as e-foil guys, we realised that we've opened up doorways to foiling for other people. And one of those doorways is after trying e-foiling, if that's not something your budget allows that you want to buy, then wing foiling is perhaps the next way forward. So in here, I've got the new Lift wing foil board. Lift are the guys that invented the e-foil. They are the leading producers of e-foil. They've built surf foiling stuff for a long, long time. Probably the originators of many of the products. And these products are good enough for Laird Hamilton. It's good enough for Kai Lenny. It's got to be good enough for us. They've now got a wing foil board to add, a range of 3 wing foil boards actually, to add to their range of surf foiling boards. With European supply lines being quite difficult at the moment, one of the advantages here is this is direct from Lift in Puerto Rico. It avoids all of that stuff. This was ordered on the 14th of April. It was shipped on the 16th. I had it here on the 22nd of April. Everything comes by FedEx. That's just how they do it. They include that shipping all in the price. So there are very few delays to be had, and especially at the moment where kit is just really thin on the ground, that's quite an advantage. So I'll open this up and show you what we got inside. And here it is. This is the Lift 5.2 95 litre wing foil board. It's a very, very solid construction. They are built tough. We're used to this with the e-foils. They're built like tanks. One of the things I've come across in wing foiling is that some of the products out there are pretty thin on the decks to keep them light. This, I'd have to weigh it. It's a light board, yet they've managed to build it strong. If you're using a wing with a boom, for example, that can be pretty devastating on the decks of some of these boards. I think this would have no problem with it at all. What you get is the pads. You've got foot strap inserts, you've got a double leash insert. They supply the hardware for the foot straps, but actually no foot straps on the board. I'm not sure why that is. So budget-wise, you've got to think of another 20, 25 pounds just to, if you're a foot strap rider. We've got the handle fitted on the deck. If I turn it over, we can see we've got a really, really super clean bottom. There's a double concave from the front, flattening out towards the back of the board. We've got really clean edges for getting rid of water. So this one on a touchdown, this more on a takeoff. So you've got the width for takeoff, the stability to spread that volume without the board getting really long and unwieldy in the corners. So that really short, compact length is going to make a massive difference. Standard twin US boxes. Very clean release on the tail, short distance between the back of that box on the tail, so as the board comes up, the tail's not hooking into the water. Really lovely, solid, rounded rail with a sharp edge on it. That rounded rail is going to be very tough, so dropping stuff on the, if you unfortunately drop the board or put it down on a rock unwittingly, this will be tough. The other nice thing about this construction and the way this is painted, it's actually really easy to repair if you need to repair it. It does really work having this sort of pattern rather than the solid colours that are quite hard to repair. What you'll notice on a few boards is that there is a handle on the bottom. And the handle on the bottom makes it very easy to carry the board when you've got a heavy aluminium mast, because you just can't do it from the deck with heavy equipment. If you pair this with something made of carbon that is just incredibly light, that for example is one of the tails. I mean, it's just grams. You actually don't need that. So the advantage there is that when this board touches down, or even when you're getting started, you haven't got that handle dragging on the water, and it does make a big difference. So I think that's a good feature. Just talking about the lift kit as well, the wings and the mast. A mast like this, Nick Leeson, the guy behind all of this stuff, says this is something he wants to build for you to have for life. So this stuff is expensive and carbon is expensive. These come in at a similar price to all the other carbon products, the high-end carbon products out there. So there's no surprises to be had. It's really well built. The same thing with the wings. What Nick feels is that with aerodynamics and hydrodynamics, things aren't really changing hugely now. Subtle changes on how we behave, but you know, an aerofoil and a wing, they haven't really changed. So this is the sort of thing you can buy and know that it's not going to expire quickly the moment the next bit of technology comes around. As I said, this is the 5.2. It is 95 litres. There is a 4.8 at 55 litres and a 4.4 at 44 litres. These boards, this one is £1,375, which is very similar to a competitive carbon board, probably slightly cheaper than a couple of them. The other thing to note as well, that this board comes with a bag. Now, if you try and get a bag for a wingfoil board, you're going to be hard pressed to spend a lot less than £100, probably quite a lot more than that, because there's so few around. You can't fit this into your old windsurf bag. You can't fit it into a surfboard bag because they're so wide. So, and you know, if you're going to chuck it in the back of the car, a bag is a really important thing to have. So worth considering that in your budget. This is a customer board. I'd love to take it out and give it a ride, tell you all about it, but unfortunately I need to keep it nice for the customer. Maybe we'll get a ride at some point. If I do, I will post a video and we can talk about that. I touched on volume and just a quick information from how I feel about the volume of a board. I'm somebody that rides about an 85 litre board, and that's a get you home board. The guy I ride with quite a lot, it's about 10 kilos more than me. This works for him really well. There is that thought that you want to go smaller and smaller, and actually you don't need all that volume. What we've found is that advantage of wingfoiling is we can go and ride some really sketchy places and we're safe and we can get home. We ride on the Menai Strait, which is a pretty crazy piece of water. It gives some amazing conditions. The wind can change quite quickly. So having a board that still floats to get you back is great. And if we've ridden this winter, we don't really want to be exposing ourselves to need of rescue or anything like that. So we felt that actually looking for a board that has the volume but feels like a small board is pretty important. For general UK riding, you need that little bit of positive buoyancy so you are able to get home safely and keep this sport having the good name it already has. Just my input.